Well, Kelly's Court is back in session on the docket today, looking for love in one really wrong place. No need for online dating. Just dial 911. Or so this woman thought. Bernadette Music in search of a good man, figuring she might be able to snag one of Ohio's finest. She calls the emergency dispatcher 4 or 5 times, each conversation sounding something like this.
Hi, this is Norwood 911. I'm having a hard time getting, a hold of Dateline and stuff. Everybody wants to put me around. My name's Bernadette Music. And I look healthy. I'm 5'1", okay? I weigh 120. Wow, that's better than what I weigh.
Cops show up at the front door. Music allegedly refuses to come out, and surprise, surprise, police say she was intoxicated. But she did get a date in court. Bernadette winds up going to jail for 5 days. 5 days, Mercedes?
I know, it sounds crazy, but there are 240 million 911 calls. 500,000 of them are total bogus. That's why you've got to show these and make this an example. And say to this woman, you can't just make a 911 call and say, hi, I'd like to have a date because I'm kind of lonely. I mean, can you imagine with 180 million adults across the nation, if they all started to call these 911 calls to get a date?
You don't see it as an emergency, Mercedes. Keep the camera. I want with a straight face. A lonely woman in need of a man is not an emergency? You don't believe that.
It's emergency of the heart.
And Bernadette Music, which, by the way, is probably the best name I've ever heard, Bernadette Music is on fire. She's got an inferno raging, and Mercedes says, let her burn. What does it matter?
Goodness.
I say, look, Jimbo,
Lee, can I just say, Lee, before you play the heartstrings a little bit too loudly for Bernadette, it turns out that Bernadette says she's actually committed to her boyfriend, Jimbo.
Well, Jimbo.
I love it.
Mercedes, I thought that Bernadette Music was the best name, but it turns out Jimbo is.
Even better than Kit Bond. I think that may be the best name.
Well,
I like that.
If you told me the boyfriend's name was Carlton, I don't think that would fit here. But Jimbo does.
Jimbo.
Look, Jimbo's not bringing it, Megan. Jimbo, this is what I read. Jimbo is not allowing Miss Music to reach the,
but
here it
5
comes,
days in jail.
high notes.
Listen, I don't mean to throw Bernadette under the bus, but then she peed in the hallway of her apartment building, which also supports the disorderly conduct charges.
Megan,
I'm just saying.
Megan, why do you know nothing about that incident? Maybe there was a sign on the floor that said wet floor, and she did.